Greetings, greetings. This is Body-Culinary sending you all some warm, positive vibrations. I move on a vibe when I like to communicate. I was just reasoning in this early days. I got up to get some water on hair freedom, right? A couple of things in addition to some folks have asked me about whether or not I use shampoo. So, first, let me just touch on the shampoo and the tea thing. Oh, and by the way, feel free if you like to subscribe to the channel. Give the video, any of the videos, a thumbs up if you find some value. Feel free also to share the video with someone that might receive some benefit. So that being said, let me answer the shampoo question. Um, I found a shampoo that I am using, but I don't need to use it often because I don't have anything in my hair. And actually, I just rinse my hair. So it's very hot and warm where I am. So sometimes just for relief, I want to rinse my hair. So I do have a shower filter. Um, on the shower head, and also I'm using some tea. Um, just in terms of health, as well as I feel very passionately that with this unique beauty mark and feature of fine Afro textured hair, or just Afro textured hair, um, controlling the means of production or keeping those economics cycling amongst the folks that have this unique beauty symbol is really, really important. The economic piece is real because, this is something that's sprouting out of our heads. So to have to, I don't know if I want to say be enslaved, but to have to constantly go outside for things to groom ourselves, I think it's a tremendous leakage. Fortunately, we have a lot more products circulating for that are made for us and by us, and with folks that have more of a commitment and an integrity to our health. So that's really important to me. So I like to keep costs down. Doesn't mean I'm going to skimp on my hair or my body. As a matter of fact, I'll make sure I will invest when it comes to anything going on to my body. So this is a mixture of green and black tea, and I got a box, I think of maybe 200 grams of tea in tea bags. And this is what I just used to rinse my hair. So again, without the oil in my hair, and I just took it out of the box. I usually say if I take something out of a box, it's rare I'll purchase something in the box, but I'll keep the label in there. So this is a mixture of green and black tea. So I made a big pot of it, and also boiled it. There's my little lighting system. But also boiled the tea and strained it. And it's hot here. And that's actually what I just cleansed my scalp with. So my hair is very, very clean. I don't have any issues with any kind of dandruff. My hair is extremely soft, and it's interesting. You hear a lot of us women comment on softness. So when my hair was a loose natural, I remember there was a time back in the day where I used to use Pantene, and one of my clients that I work with in fitness, she had pointed out to me, your hair feels soft initially, but it's silicone, which is a type of plastic, and so I really didn't want any kind of silicone on my hair, right? So now I don't have anything, so I don't worry really about buildup. And now I have to say, now I'm really starting to see some growth where they were joined, because my hair is very fine, very delicate, super teeny tiny down at the bottom. And so they've combined. I think I might let them combine again. We'll see, because it joins together very, very easily. Very, very easily it joins together. So sometimes, being that it's so flat, I go back and forth with them. I'm going to let them join or not, because I don't like to separate them often. And so I just have a natural part here. I really enjoy the benefit of not having to do much. And also, as someone that doesn't have a lot of dense hair, I've always, even when I was a loose natural, looked for styles that are very complementary to my hair. So that would usually be double strand twists. As much as I like cornrows, the cornrows weren't really cutting it, because when my scalp is exposed, usually it will be very itchy. So not having a bunch of parts, I'm not twisting at all. I'm not doing anything but really just rinsing and periodically washing. There is one brand of a natural shampoo that I was able to find, which fortunately here in Central America. And those shampoos sometimes they cost a bit more, but you're not using them much. You can even dilute them, totally clear, no sulfates, no dyes, virtually almost like nothing in it. So those I have to say, and I've mentioned before, I feel a big difference in my hair when I use an all natural shampoo. So I don't have to use it often. And in between, what I'll do is I'll rinse with the tea rinse. So that box of tea didn't even cost me. $2 US. So hopefully that answers the tea question or the shampoo. So I'm using mostly tea rinses, and so I have a little bit of length. I don't cut them. Again, I'm not really doing anything, so I can see where I used to wear lots of beads and such. This will most likely some of them break off, but I'm just with leaving it alone. Leaving it alone, which brings a lot of freedom, which is what I was really vibing this early day was hair freedom. So this for me is a lot of freedom. I really enjoyed Loose Natural, but I have other things that I want to do with my time. I like to groom myself. I like to slather myself with coconut oil and raw shea butter. So I'm into grooming, but minimalist. And I really feel passionately about being able to be free. There's so much competing for our attention, for our dollars, and even with all the massive makeovers. And I get it, and I can appreciate a beautiful, fresh face of makeup, but there's so much. It maybe everyone's experience is different. So just one woman's perspective. If it doesn't resonate, that's fine. Toss it. But I really feel like there's an undercurrent of anxiety that drives us to spend trillions of dollars on things to make ourselves beautiful. And so what I've found, and as I continue to mature on my journey, which has been about 30 years of a return to natural, that relaxation is key because we could be very anxious shopping for more clothes, shop, shop, shop. It's only 365 days in a year. There'll never be enough days to wear all of these clothes or to use all of those products. So just to be able to throw my shower caddy, which I did some years ago, in the garbage, I felt like a relief. And sometimes it can feel very suffocating to have all of this stuff that you have to take care of, and all of these clothes. It's just sometimes it's too much. So getting rid of a lot of stuff feels very freeing. So definitely when it comes to living an active, um, lifestyle. Um, Not being weighed down with products and stuff running onto my face to cause acne. And if you buy one product, there's a whole line. You got to get the whole line of products. I just find it very mentally debilitating. I find it too much of a distraction. I just want to be free. I want to be free to not have to, and I am free to not have to wear makeup. And that's a relief. I wonder if, it contributes to this mental anxiety, this need to have to do all of this stuff. Honestly, there are times I've thought about, do I want to dye my hair another color? Sometimes we get bored with ourselves, but also I pay attention to those things. And for me, it's been a meditation to just sit in full acceptance, what I call a radical self acceptance, as well as an appreciation of my unique hair color, an appreciation, not just an acceptance, but an appreciation, a celebration, and I'm being grateful that I'm healthy and I have hair on my head. And if it was falling off, I'd cut it off, because I feel very confident even with very, very low hair. So just to be able to sit with ourselves, it has so many implications. So I just rinsed my hair, massaged it, maybe put a little bit of essential oils, lemongrass. Also, I'm in the garden a lot. So the lemongrass is a very uplifting essential oil. Scent, I don't like a lot of perfumes, and it can have a tendency to a bit keep mosquitoes and stuff at bay when I'm out, in the garden. But it's really important for me to feel free. Free as a woman. We have to wear, we don't have to wear, but we're pressured to wear Spanx and bras. When you take your bra, your brassiere, as they used to say back in the day, off, just to feel free, like you can breathe. We've got scents. They've got scents for your yoni and scents for your underarm. It's too much. It's like, I feel like it's like a prison. It's like a prison. And then at some point when you're done with the parade and the show, and the camera's off, you got to take all of that stuff off. And I know to feel like you take the stuff off and you feel like, I don't look pretty anymore. That's not a good feeling. And even as we mature and we go into different phases of life, can we sit in an appreciation of our own selves? As so many groups of people right now on the planet, we say we want someone to love us, accept me, accept me. But if you really think about it, we're not accepting ourselves and the gift of the body temple, especially if it's healthy and functioning. The body temple and the features that we have. It's actually sometimes I think it's like amazing, and again, I'm not demonizing anybody's choices, but the healthy nose that allows oxygen to come through, eyes that see, think about it as a human species. We change the shape of our eyes, change the shape of our nose. People change the shape of our lips. Then we change our hair. Then males and females, I know this from being in the fitness industry, you can get chest implants, butt implants. I'm not sure about the biceps, and these are procedures that are not even necessary. And as someone that has worked with clients, I've had some clients that are malpractice lawyers. And I remember one told me that to get procedures that are unnecessary, you have to go under anesthesia. It's actually quite dangerous, right? So just think, I just reason like, wow, look at all the risks we take. And when you look at the climate and you see the appetites and the lack of character today, who are we trying to impress and pull for what to do what? So I have made a personal decision to take all of that off the table for my own peace of mind, my mental health, and relaxation. So, these fine Afro features, they're mine. They're not going anywhere. This is the body temple that I have. In the fitness industry, there can be a tendency, and a lot of messaging to shame folks, right? So I don't think it's so much about people being ashamed. And I reason with these things all the time. I've been in the industry for a long time, with quote unquote fat shaming, because it is really important. I think that or from what I've observed with folks, that you can really love and appreciate the body that you have. At the same time, I think that advertising can have a tendency to make us celebrate poor health, right? And not look at our numbers. My sister, who is a jewelry designer and also in the fitness industry, she showed me a picture today, like a picture transparency of two different women, but it was showing a picture of their organs. And one had a lot of visceral fat. So, subcutaneous fat right underneath the skin, and visceral fat is unhealthy fat that's wrapping around the organs. So I was thinking, the Lane Bryant commercials, and women of all sizes. We have the right to celebrate ourselves, but I think there's mixed messaging that can make us very complacent and not move with a sense of urgency around our health. So my reasoning is that my health is the ultimate beauty product, right? Then I don't have to buy bigger sizes of clothes. I can be comfortable in my skin. Really important, because I'm someone that loves to move and to play and ride my bicycle and put groceries on my bicycle, just to know that I can do it, and then also as well as enjoying the scenery on my bicycle. But freedom. A big part of freedom, the mental freedom that goes with not having to worry about your hair not holding you back from playing and being fit, but also freedom in our bodies, right? When we're under all this anxiety, and I've observed, I think they're connected. We have all this anxiety around being chosen or being accepted, and it can have us, I've mentioned before, all this anxiety coupled with other things has eating to soothe ourselves and comfort ourselves, often quite mindlessly. But very interesting, whole, fresh fruits and vegetables. Um, just like wearing your natural hair and your natural crown, um, eating or consuming foods that don't require cruelty to ourselves or to others, and that are fresh and natural, that don't have the let's say food that doesn't have wigs and makeup on, right? The food that's just just straight, no chaser. You can taste the natural sweetness in a cucumber or in an apple or even in lettuce. It's it's interesting that it has an effect on the body, and it doesn't. I like to say it doesn't leave waste on your waistline. These natural foods, so I think it's so amazing. I think even astounding if we really take a step back and look at the amounts of programming of us feeling socially pressured to have to do all these things in presentation to um, please other people, quite often that don't even necessarily have our best interest at heart. So I have my best interest. So in my best interest, I choose to make health my priority. And so therefore health is, I found, the ultimate beauty product. So having to put all of these different things on our scalp and these chemicals that are right near our brain, you know, contributes to ill health as well as emptying out our pockets. I think it has tremendous implications. So, freedom is and relaxation in my own body temple while I'm here on this earth plane is really important to me. Really, really important to me. I prioritize it. So I prioritize, um, fresh food. I'm willing to pay, for food. But do I really want for me to get more and more bigger clothing sizes? No, I don't. And it's really a relief to not have to diet, to be able to enjoy my food, to have lots of variety, to be able to take my lifestyle on the road, and feel confident that if I go in different environments, I can always eat. I can always find things inexpensively for my hair because I've taken, this is tea. I've taken a lot off the table, and it is it's such a relief. It's such a relief. So just body freedom, right? Not carrying around extra unhealthy weight. And interestingly enough, right, again, as someone that's competed in fitness and worked in the fitness industry for many years, the body has an intelligence of its own. Just like it knows to grow a wound or scar tissue over an injury or a cut, it knows how to fall to a natural weight when we just stop putting things in it that we're not designed to, as well as not putting things in it, which really takes some awareness and some quiet. Um, just eating mindlessly, even if it's good, healthy food. So all of this requires, I would think, it would appear to me, a level of quiet and relaxation. So how can we really be so anxiety driven and reacting and responding to anxiety and peaceful at the same time? So again, I've decided to take a lot off the table. Yeah, it's one thing to go sit in a meditation cave, but it's another thing, like as they say in yoga, to take your yoga, off the mat and out into the world. So this 4C hair thing can be driving many of us crazy. I just think it's so interesting, initially. Lastly, I'll say my hair is growing and flat, but now I remember when I first combined or allowed my hair to combine, I didn't know what it was going to look like. So again, for many of us, that's an anxiety and fear. What the heck is my hair going to look like if I let it join together again? I'm not big into counting locks, but I know how many I have because my hair is not very dense. So again, the reality is many of us have anxiety over alopecia or hair loss or not being able to have a certain hairstyle, or just over the texture and the color of my hair. So I think there's so much to be said for what I will term radical self-acceptance. And I found that it brings a lot of freedom. So I'm all for the freedom, body freedom, hair freedom, this pain-free, not clogging my body temple up with dangerous chemicals, my hair, my skin, My skin can breathe. Every now and then when I get a little teeny blemish, I don't do anything to it. If anything, I put the fruits and vegetables that I eat on my face as well as eat them on the inside. Relief, the simplicity of it. And then that contributes to a lot of mental freedom, right? Today we're medicating a lot of things that maybe perhaps don't need to be medicated if we can go to the root of a lot of the anxiety. So I'm not going to stay on here too long. I just wanted to touch base really quick and just share those thoughts on hair, skin, body, and mental freedom, especially. And that applies to all of us, all women, but especially if you've got this for CZZ and fine, delicate hair. Look at that. So I don't sweat that. Let's see, that's going to break off. And it's totally fine. I don't have to go into spasms because the piece is going to break off. That's what the hair does. So it's really so. I just give you a quick little 180. So maybe I'll see too, because it's not often that I get to see what my hair looks like in the back. So it's still damp because I had just rinsed it. But so it's not very dense in the back, but it has a little bit of length. It is going to shrink. It does still shrink, right? Because it is very spongy as it dries, but it does dry very quick because there are no products in it. So be encouraged if anyone out there, if you have issues with acne, which I had quite a case of adult acne. And if you have very fine hair, I find more and more it's like a freedom. Your body responds when you leave it alone and just give it the nutrients that it needs. So I'm up in these wee hours. Most likely I'm going to take a nap later on today, but I have to get up in a couple of hours to train with some women who've been training and showing up consistently, in the early morning. So I also encourage you to create a circle of influence. The people that you spend, let's say about the 10 people, the 5 to 10 people that you spend the most time with, or you're an encouragement to each other. And most of all, I like to come together around an activity, right? So if we're getting together for bulk shopping for food, growing and learning to grow food, other ideas for honorable economics, swapping or exchanging, life skills, fitness, capoeira, African dance, those are things I like to come together around, right? Because there's only been so much time you have on the planet, so you want to spend it well. All right, folks, this is Body-Culinary. I will see you all real soon. And it's up to you. Make a decision to create a great day on purpose because you said so. All right, see you soon.